but it is Saturday, so you know what that means. And if you don't know, well, it's the Supersonic Saturday session. Listen, let's get this thing right because we still got to get in momentum. Now, look, I got something going on. This about to be crazy, and I realize when I do my little high pitches, yeah, I don't catch everything. So let me calm myself down. Let me act like I got some sense. All right, cool. So welcome to another Supersonic Saturday session, and today is about to go down. What we got to do is we about to go a little down memory lane. You know, a little down memory lane. As long as I can get this tech right and keep it right, then we can get back right, so you can get your tracks right. Especially if you have it and you want to submit. Want me to listen to your music? Want me to hear something? Want me to actually check out what you got going on? As long as it is not copywritten yet, then I'm definitely down for that. So send that in, submit it. It's in the description. Go ahead and submit your track, and we'll play it back, and we'll be able to sit back, relax, and grab some snacks as we listen back to your track, you know? But in between time, welcome, fam. It's Saturday. Like, man, it's a whole Saturday. And not only is it Saturday, but look, let's not act like you didn't make it from the top of the week to the end of the week. You got a whole lot of stuff that you experienced this week. You know, outlasted all of it. You here, you winning, you succeeding. How I know? Because even if you bleeding, you still succeeding because you still alive. Oh man. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and let's get these comments going. Let me know where you from. Let me know who watching. Go ahead and add a like to this joint. If you're watching on YouTube, then please put a like on that. If you like it and you want to come back, you keep missing it. You know, let's go ahead and make sure we get some momentum going. And speaking of momentum, I think I got a joint called Momentum with my guy John Jizzle. Let's get that cracking real quick. That was a little something. That was a little something. Excuse me. If y'all really wondering what's been going on, I've been sick. My kids got me sick. They were sick for like 2.5 weeks. And then they got me. And then my voice started trying to fade away. And that's the last thing I needed. So I've been busy. But also, I've been busy. I've been busy. Like, do you know anybody who is serious about their business? I'm talking about they serious, not curious. They handling business. They out here changing lives, transforming lives. But for whatever reason, they don't have their own sound. Like, it's crazy. You ever watched a movie with no music? It was dry, and you probably cut it off. Like, what's the point of listening to this? Well, you got a lot of people with businesses that don't have their own signature sound. And I think that's a problem. And I want to actually solve that problem. So what I've been doing is making people aware of that problem and actually going in and actually solve it. So if you know anybody that's like, listen, dang, man, they actually do good in their business, but they don't have their own sound. They out here getting robbed because everybody else is being, hold on, wait a minute. So if they using everybody else sound, but they don't have their own, that mean they leaving money on the table. Uh-oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna be talking about real soon in an actual masterclass that's going to be coming up. But listen, we ain't talking about that right now. Just want you to be aware that if you one of them people, you got business, but you ain't got no sound, how you got a business with no sound? That don't make sense. It's like watching a movie with no sound. That don't make sense. It's like when you hear ba da ba ba ba, that's McDonald's. But I ain't gotta tell you it's McDonald's. I ain't gotta tell you it's Mickey D's. You already know what it is. If I say ta-dum, you know that's Netflix. I mean, I may be a little off about pitch, but you know what it is and who it is. Anyways, look, if you got something that you want to submit, you want to put in, and I'm looking forward to getting it because I want to listen to what you got. But let's also check some stuff out. There goes something more cinematic. This joint right here was fire when we made it, and it's fire now. This is that movie feel, though. Tell me in the comments on what this makes you think about, how this actual sound, this song makes you feel. Is it a movie you seeing? What are you seeing in the actual scenery when you hear it? Here it goes. Oh man, I appreciate you. Hold on. We got Chris Spears. Oh, that's my brother. That's my brother. What's up, bro? He says, sounds like a car commercial or some kind of drink. That hey, you talking hey, you hey, like a sync licensing situation, huh? Yeah, that joint there. Thank you, appreciate it. We just like that when we did that, that joint, we called it Ferrol. Like, I don't know why we called it Ferrol, but it's Ferrol. Maybe it's for Ferrari. I don't know. Okay, we got that joint right there. But yeah, so it's this one joint we were doing for this contest, and it was with it was for Dr. like a Dr. Dre situation. It was trying to get that feel, that West Coast vibe. Now, granted, I am from Texas, born and raised. I'm Fort Worth, Texas, Funky Town to be exact. So trying to get that West Coast vibe with that cinematic feel, that introduction, that us gotta just sit right with that much like that mob feel, that like, this is about to be something serious. So this joint right here we did with my guy Jizzle is called Automatic because it was pretty much automatic when you heard it exactly what's about to happen. Here, check this out. Right here. That joint right there. Hey, Chris said definitely something exotic on that other one. Appreciate it, bro. Man, that was so much fun. Like we got this other joint. I gotta play this back. So I got a guy that this dude is dope. His name is Brandon Rico. It's like the dude is a phenomenal producer, musician all the way around. And he was actually a part of me coming out on the internet, letting people hear what it is that I do. And I remember when I did my first submission, my heart was palpitating and I was nervous. I'm like, are they gonna like my music? Are they gonna like it? And I submitted a joint. And he was like, bro, hold on. We got Jared Walker in here. We got Jared Walker. What is that, bro? What? Nah, bro, this not your first time. Ain't no way. So shortly after I started like realizing like I'm literally standing out. You got all of these people submitting, these dope producers that are really up and coming as well as just getting started. Well, it was recognizable that like, nah, bro, you didn't just get started. Like, why are you hiding? Is pretty much what the question was. Like, people need to hear your stuff. So I'm actually looking to find those moments of whenever this man was playing my music and reacting to it. That way I can share something with y'all so you can see exactly what it is, like where I come from, how I got to where I am. I've already showed you one of the videos as it pertains to why I unmuted myself. That right there was a big deal because I didn't talk the way that I talk now. I get on camera, I'm easy. Like, this is smooth. Man, it's nothing. But it wasn't always that way. So I would love to share my background, the story of how I became the producer that I am, how I became the speaker that I am, how I became the coach that I am, how I became the consultant that I am, how I became the father, if y'all care about any of those things, is coming. But I do want to give y'all this. This sound right here was one of them ones that took it to the top. Well, my guy Jizzle, there was a there's a producer by the name of Alan Silvestri, and if you know who that is, then you're familiar with great music in movies. So there was this contest, right? And it was to actually try to like get that Marvel sound. Well, we did that. We got this Marvel sound, but in that process of getting that Marvel sound, I unlocked something. And it this did we took this to a whole nother level. Let me find it though, because when I tell you the the more and more and more and more you do the thing that you love to do, the better and better and better and better you get at it. But here's the thing, sometimes you need somebody to tell you how good you are before you know how good you are. And you got to accept that it's not about your opinion, it's about other people's opinion, because the value that they see in you is what leads them and brings them to you. So how you see yourself, you might feel like, man, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not this and that. Meanwhile, you got people looking at you like you out your mind. Like, ain't no way you believe that. Nah, like, here, you want some money? I will pay you for that, because no, wait a minute. I got a story for y'all on that in a second, but this joint right here was a theme that myself and my guy John Jizzle did. This joint right here was actually for, it was a Marvel submission situation. Let me play it for you, and y'all tell me what you think. What do you hear when you hear it? What do you feel? Does it feel like Marvel? Does it sound like Marvel? Ah, by the way, we won. So let's see how this goes. I feel like we dunked it and put our whole arm in the rim on that. We put our whole arm in the rim on that one right there. What y'all think about that? Oh man. So Chris Spears said, okay, so this one sounds like it needs to be in some kind of movie scene. Yeah, man, that's majority of what the sounds are gonna be like. I do that cinematic sound. It's movie. That's what I feel. I feel like life is a movie, and you are always the main character in your own movie. The question is, who is participating in the second leading role? And if you collab with the right people, man, I promise you, it's like watching uh, Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson in a movie together. You know that joy is to be something. It's gonna be something. It may not be your favorite, but it's something. Those collaborations. Back in the day, you got Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. They together. It's something. Will Ferrell and you get it. But man, this is what I do. I love to do this stuff too. Because when you have that sound, when you have your own sound, especially with speakers, you got a lot of speakers out here that don't realize, say fam, you deserve to have your own signature sound. How you a speaker playing through people's speakers, but you don't have your own signature sound? That don't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm not guilty either, because I am a speaker, and you hear my sound. It's always gonna sound like a movie with Jared, but Jared speaks cinematically as well. I speak rhythmically. I speak like I'm always doing something poetic. Promise y'all, I just be being me. But the point is, if you have your own sound, then it can continually go down. It's also how you can get paid. But look, that joint right there. Oh, you got Avatar vibes on that joint? You got Avatar vibes? That's a compliment. Compliment. Appreciate that, bro. Man. Oh, so look, here go another joint. This joint one of the ones we was just like, we need that something is coming feel. And in that something is coming, you need to know like, hey, it's here when it's here. This joint right here, this joint right here, we got this joint 2% because it took us 2% of a day to make, and that's 29 minutes and 20 seconds in a nutshell. But let me know what you think, what you feel from this. Do you really feel like something is coming, or is it a little off? Let me know. What y'all think? How did that sound? That sound like something was coming? Or sound like something was here? Or sound like it was almost there, but it was like, ah? Let me know. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the moment that I did this these series of beats with a guy, for a guy, Jay Massey. This man is a real estate guy, like guru, like fire. The way that he does what he does is dope. And I had the privilege of actually getting some music on to his podcast. But he had this actual contest. And during this contest, we was all going through it. We was like, man, we gonna get this money. We gonna get this money. And shout out to Brandon Rico because it was his platform that we were doing it on. So with that joint right there, that right there stems from putting all of that work in over time years ago. You know how people be like, oh man, they were overnight success. You don't see the years that went by, the time it took for them to become the person that you see now. You just see the fruit. You have no idea how deep the root. You have no idea how long it took. So that right there, that right there was a byproduct of being able to create certain things over a long period of time, so that you can create things in a short amount of time that are just as impactful. What did he say? What Chris say? Chris said, okay, with that one, I get the vibe of like a bank robbery type of thing. Well, like Inside Man with Denzel Washington. Oh man. I think I found what I was looking for. Let me make sure because I want to share this with y'all. This guy threw me for a loop the way that he responded to what actually took place. Let me make sure we right on that. In the meantime, in between time, let me hit y'all with this real quick just for a second. I found it, y'all. Oh man, I found it. You said more like that one Netflix show where they rob a bank. Man, look, hey, here I'm gonna give you a quick piece on that. Whenever we had that beginning piece where you hear something winding up, I thought about that. I was like, yo, what if it's like that 50 Cent joint, like on that actual Massacre album that he had, and it's something like that, bruh. So you kind of on point with it, to be honest with you. But yo, I found what I was looking for. Now, as long as I can share this screen, as long as I can share this screen and get y'all right, this is about to, like, sheesh. Oh my goodness, this is one of the ones. This is when my guy Brandon Rico was like, hey, y'all submit yourself. I submitted my stuff, and then I shot in a super chat, I think, so that I can get it played, like get ahead in the queue, right? So next thing you know, this man, watch this man's reaction. Let me just not let me not talk about it. Let me show y'all. Hold on, come on now, you can work. Here we go. Hey, can y'all see that? I want to make sure y'all can see this. Y'all can see this. We winning. Hopefully you can. You can see this. We winning. All right. Hey, let me know if you can see Brandon Rico, Chris. Because if you can see Brandon Rico whenever I do that, oh man. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is one this one of them ones, y'all. Check this out. Hold on, let me make sure I let y'all hear this the right way.
Crazy. Jared Walker. Okay. Y'all going crazy. Yo, if you haven't already, hit that like button on the video. Wow. It's not even over. What? This Joker just filmed a whole movie. He scored a whole movie. Yo. Yo. Yeah.
I'm over here talking to myself. Y'all can't even hear me. Yeah, that joint right there was with my guy Brandon Rico. Man, that joint was like that whole situation of how to get the actual sound that the man was looking for, that Jay Massey was looking for, and literally pushing myself to a higher level. And man, say sheesh. Like I grew from that. I grew from that. Hey, what up, M. Edward? What up, fam? Man, you was in the room. You were there. I don't even, man. I wonder if you did anything too on that joint, man. But I call that season of my life fooling with Jay Massey, because that guy right there, he wanted what he wanted, but he eventually got it. He eventually got it. I gotta find the actual video where I actually won. Like it seemed like, oh wow, that's the one, that's the one. But man, into momentum takes a little bit of time. But when you do it with the right people, it don't have to take as long. It's like if you want to grow, if you really want to grow, just connect with the right people that's already growing. You don't have to wait a extra long amount of time. Sometimes you can expedite the process by simply being intentional about who you connected with, that's going to push you. That's actually going to push you to higher heights that you even than you may have even thought you were capable of achieving within a short period of time. You'd be surprised what you could actually get accomplished skill wise in a shorter amount of time if you would just concentrate and focus while being held to a higher standard, like challenging yourself and being challenged as well. That right there was how that came about. Oh man, but what do y'all think about that? Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. If you liking this video, go ahead and drop a like on here. Share this joint if you actually know that somebody need to hear this fire, as well as like, listen, this is just fun. And if you got something you want to submit, send that joint in. We can listen back to it, man. So looking back, also, there was this season of my life where I legitimately wanted to just like I just wanted to just create. I didn't care what it sounded like. I just wanted to create. And that season really wasn't even that long ago. In the process of creating, I just found people to create for. Started creating soundtracks for them, creating podcast introductions for them. Started creating, just creating and creating, just to find like, man, what is it? I could be doing more. I need a challenge. Then I found somebody who let me, like, they let me create something for them alongside with my guy Jizzle. And this joint right here, it was just something. It just, I don't know how it happened the way that it happened, but tell me what this makes you think of. Like, how do you feel when you hear it? Like, what does it do for you? Is it something that catches your attention? Here it is. Like, if you heard that introduction on a podcast, is that something that would feel, how did it make you feel? Does it make you feel warm? Does it feel welcoming? Because that's what we were going for. Just being able to take it from just that hip hop sound to and that super cinematic, but that different type of vibe. Like, I can't quite describe. I want y'all to describe. Tell me what you heard. Tell me what you seen. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what caught your attention. Was it a vibe that you could, ride with? Man, so many different things going through my head. Man. But look, on these supersonic Saturday sessions, just gonna be straight up with you. It ain't gonna be like this for much longer. Only reason is because as I grow and I elevate, then I need to make sure that the things that I do grow and elevate as well. And I know it's some stuff that y'all are going to be privy to real soon. And it's gonna cause you to say, oh man, I should have got in sooner when I had the chance. So if you want your stuff to be heard by me and those watching, listen, this is your opportunity. In the description, all you got to do is upload your track that you created. If you're a music composer, a producer, a beat maker, whatever, submit your stuff so we can listen to it, check it out. And man, Like, there's a chance that we could even collaborate. I just want to know what it is that you got that everybody else needs to know about that you have, because your sound matters. Just like I tell people, their voice matters. But yo, man, I remember this joint right here. This we was getting a little funky with it, just messing with. I was doing this bass line on that joint, had the electric piano going on it and all of that stuff. Yo, tell me if you groove to this right here. What this sound like? How this feel? We called it "I Got a New Candle." Was that funky enough? Was it what was that feel? What was that vibe? How that feel? Let me know in the chat. Man, I found myself looking also into how it is that you got so many dope producers that people don't even know exist. And I realized something. It came from a perspective called the oh man, I could go into these mental models and all this stuff all day, but I'm gonna keep it simple. Teaching my kids something. We were doing homeschool lesson and they didn't feel quite comfortable simply doing something that most people don't want to do as well. And it's like, wow, the humanity that we all wrestle with, there's something that is there. And what it is most people don't like the sound of their own voice. Yeah, most people do not like the sound of their own voice. So they avoid recording their voice. They avoid recording themselves on camera. They avoid listening to their own voice. Some people just literally they don't want to hear their own voice. And it's crazy because of the why behind it. Whenever we're speaking, what we're hearing we're hearing ourselves through two uh mediums. One is going to be called bone conduction, as the vibration is coming out of our mouths, as well as air conduction. And that is what we are hearing outside of our mouths. Well, when others hear us, they are hearing us through air conduction. That's what's going on. They're hearing us. They're not hearing us the way that we hear ourselves, though. So whenever we listen back to ourselves on a recording, it's a feeling that we're confronted with, and it's interesting because we judge ourselves. Like we judge ourselves based off of how we think we sound, not realizing, that's how everybody hears you. You're judging you based off of what? And it's a funny thing because let me find what it's called. Because when you're listening to your own voice, you're hearing you in a way that causes you to feel confronted. So when you feel like you're confronting yourself, it does something to you. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh my goodness. All right, yes. It's called the voice confrontation effect. And with the voice confrontation effect, this is where you feel it says, when speaking, we hear our voice both externally and internally, air conduction and bone conduction, which makes it sound deeper and richer. So, how I hear me is not how y'all hear me. I don't start hearing me the way y'all hear me until I play stuff back and listen back to it. So, the way that you feel whenever I am speaking, I'm not feeling it the way that you're feeling it. I'm not hearing me the way that you hear me. So it says when recording, we hear only the external version, well, when recorded, we hear only the external version, which can seem higher pitched and unfamiliar. So when you feel unfamiliar with your own voice, it causes you to feel confronted. Now, the research about it behind this is dealing with Hughes and Standards from 1972. This ain't some new stuff, some older stuff. So it says others suggest that this can lead to voice confrontation, where people feel discomfort or embarrassment upon hearing their own voice. And it's interesting because the only way to get past it is literally to get used to hearing yourself more and more and more. So if you want to get over feeling a certain type of way about hearing your own voice, all you got to do is hear your own voice more and more and more. It's called the mere exposure effect by Zajonc, which was 1968 discovered. So it means repeated listening can make one's recorded voice feel more natural and acceptable. So if you want to feel like, oh man, I actually enjoy my sound, I enjoy my voice, I want to hear more of me, then you just got to listen to it more and more. The irony behind that, though, is when you have these producers who are creating this music, and it's not coming from out of their mouths, it's literally coming from their head, and they're afraid to put their stuff out. But that's only because they haven't done it enough. They haven't done it long enough and they haven't exposed other people to it enough. So if you expose others to your greatness long enough, eventually you might start feeling great. Mm. If you expose yourself to your greatness, eventually you might recognize it as well. And you might get confident enough to continue to show others just how great you are by showing up. That made me want to play that joint called Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Ooh, wee. And I found some more stuff with my guy Brandon Rico. And I found some more. I might show it at another time though. But yeah, when you get confronted with your own voice and your own sound, when you get confronted with your own sound, it does something to you. But when you are exposed to it, well, check this out. I want to take it to a higher level for you. Did you know that you have a sonic identity? Yeah, you have a sonic identity. I like to call it a supersonic identity. Now, what is this? So, a sonic identity is the sound which you can be identified by based off of you and who you are. You ever notice how there are certain songs that just really pull you in, and like as soon as they turn on, you turn up or turn down, like whatever the case, it has a positive effect on you. Well, what if I told you that you can actually discover your sonic identity that matches not only your sound and your vibe, but also if you are an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, then guess what? That's also what you deserve to actually have applied to that. So if you have your own sound, your signature sound that goes along with your, let's say you're a speaker with your signature message, then what you can do is take your sonic identity and make sure that every song that you play behind your vocals, behind your speech, behind, like if you're an artist, if you want to know, like, man, but what's my actual vibe? If you're a producer, man, what is it that I'm actually best suits me? I know exactly how you can get your sonic identity. If that's something you interested in, holla at me because I believe that we all have a sound. And there's a sound inside of each and every one of us that just literally pulls the best out of us. But you got to be aware of it. It's just another form of self awareness. Well, with that sonic identity, you end up identifying not only, man, shoot, how it is that I tend to show up, why it is, what motivates me, what are the things that literally drive me, that fuel me, that feed me to want to go and do the things that I am doing to show up a certain type of way, my preferences and tendencies and whatnot. But yet, you're a genius. Yeah, you got a genius, fam. You got a genius about you. If you didn't know, I'm telling you right now, this is not Jared trying to hype you up either. It's just psychology. So when you're dealing with human behavior, that's one thing. But when you're dealing with psychology and the concept and the concept of you're a genius, this is where your strengths are at. So many people try to move in their weaknesses. These are blind spots. That ain't what you need to be moving inside of. That's like judging a fish according to how high it can climb a tree. You'll never judge it appropriately if you do it that way. You judge it according to how well it can swim, how deep it can go, how long, like whatever the case. Well, for you, then if you understand that, oh, these are my strengths, oh, man, that I do that. Wow, I didn't ever think about that. You identify your genius and you move in that only, I promise you, you'll literally start standing out in whatever you're doing, as long as it's a part of who you are. So if you have a sonic identity, you have a sound that follows you in everything that you do appropriately and accordingly, and it'll feel good. That sound don't how would you feel if you knew yours? Like, if you want to find out more about that, reach out to me, DM me, or drop in the comments, me, and I'll get back with you on it because I think everyone needs to know their sonic identity. You should know your supersonic identity is valuable, and it's what people are looking for if they're looking for you. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So look, I am getting closer to the top of the hour, and I just want to make sure that I leave y'all energized. I don't want nobody to be drained leaving from here. I don't want anybody drained. I want everybody to feel like, man, I was inspired, I was motivated, and I got my groove on. It was cool, it was smooth, it was good. Yeah, I don't feel like I wasted my time. All right, all right, all right. Look, I got you. Here go another joint right here that it really kind of did something to me when I created it because I how can I explain this? I can't really explain it, but I can let you hear it. Here go a joint right here, man. It's going joint called Never Mattered. Oh snap! I done found another one. This is what 2020. Sheesh. Yeah, it's in 2020. My guy Brandon Rico, and this is when I did one of my first collaborations with my guy B Jizzle, BG, Dr. Gene White. Put some respect on his name. And this joint right here, something special because this is how we ended up making a sale together. You know, like they say, teamwork makes the dream work. Well, that's exactly how this thing went. And, you know, I love getting paid with people, but I love getting other people paid too. It really makes a difference. So I'm gonna actually pull this joint up right here, y'all, because it's something that's special when you get to watch the actual fruit of your labor be produced through and with somebody else. Let me pull this up real quick for y'all so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh man, it's about to be so fun. So I mean, I hope BG up in here, man. I hope this guy sees this. Let me get this right for y'all. I don't wanna mess up. Last time I was having this little tech issue trying to figure this stuff out. I'm like, man, where my stuff at? We gonna figure it out. But I got you. I got you. I think we should be good right here. Yeah, 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 yeah. We about to get it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That you put in there with the bass guitar. Let me see. We got another one from Jared Walker. I thought I was tripping. Here we go. Sizzo. Ooh, whoa. Hold on. Yo, this is a whole vibe. Yo, cash flow. This is Jared Walker. You trying to buy it? This is Jared Walker and BG. Do we have a beat sale? Sheesh, man. Y'all crazy for this one.
Yo, that one was fire. I remember that. Yeah, and we actually did make a sale on that too. As I was saying earlier, we actually did make a sale on that. Oh man, so fire, so fire, so fire, so fun, so good, so when you get to be creative and you actually get to change people's lives. Like music and sound is life changing. You ever heard something, it just did something to you and for you at the same time? Whether it was a message that you heard, whether it was a song that you listened to, whether it was an like I remember when I heard my actual firstborn's cry for the first time whenever she exited the womb, that sound did something to and for me. Like it really did. Sounds are not just dealing with the music. It's just so much more to it. Like I remember hearing our second born cry for the first time. It's like, oh my goodness. It's those things and then the third now that was different, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I just know that when you hear something that changes and transforms your life, you never unhear it. And there are things that you've heard in your life that have really done a lot for you. And there are things that you have said that have done a lot for somebody else. And you never know the value of what it is that you actually have to say until you say it. You know, I wasn't about to make it through this whole thing without saying, unmute yourself, fam. Unmute yourself. Like there is something inside of you that needs to come out, and it's going to come from the fruit of your lips. Those are your words. And there is change that you can cause just by speaking up and speaking out and being who it is you've been called to be, doing what it is that you've been called to do. You've been called to speak and communicate if you can. So if you can unmute yourself, then there's a chance that there's somebody else that you are meant to unmute. Whew. So I look, today has been amazing. We got 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and I don't see any submissions. So I'm just going to presume and assume that everybody's good. So, what I want to make sure I do is I want to give y'all some more of the background behind the scenes like, oh, snap, what happened? How did this person get to be this way? Look, when you're talking about music, I've been doing this thing. Like, I remember the first time I really got like deep off into this whole music industry stuff was back when I was 15 years old. When I was 15, y'all, I'm 35 now. I'm 35 years old. February 9th, 35. Well, man, I got to really experience some stuff which was dealing with the artist side of things though. See, here's a little story. I'll give you a little story. A little story, a little story. All right. When I was 15 years old, I actually was a part of this record label. It was called Elite Entertainment. And the individual who I was actually with had some dope artists on there. There was a cat by the name of C Watts back in the day. Back in Fort Worth, Texas. Chauncey was he actually had songs that was going like doing big things all around the shoot, man, the city as well as the state and the country. Well, there are some other individuals that should I tell y'all about this? I think I might say this story for well, no, I don't already started it. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. So I was in high school, all right. I was in high school. And there's this song that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are familiar with, depending on how old or young you are. And that song was the byproduct of this group that I had the privilege of meeting and actually participating in helping them to get to where they are by working with this guy. I'm not going to say his name, but it was with the record company I was with. And this man, I remember getting them shows all around. They were getting shows, and it just we were teenagers, so places like Teen World and different hotels we were renting out and just doing all types of stuff, getting them known. They were an R&B group. Crazy though how this happened. This R&B group ended up having individuals like Beyonce, uh, Usher, and a lot of other big people doing the dance to their song. And that song was called The Stanky Leg. And I remember participating in not only getting them signed, but also getting them known and heard. And it was that same song, the stanky leg, do the stanky leg, do the, all of that. I was there for it all. So when it hit BET, when it hit MTV, when it did all of the stuff that it did, I was a part of that. It was dope, but I was 15, y'all. I might have been 16 by the time with that or 17. I don't remember because I met the guy when I was 15, but I think it might have been about 16, 17 years old. So I remember the actual producer who produced that track, like the real one who produced it, Ryan Hits. Ryan Hits, I think Ryan got a gold plaque off of that. If not platinum, I believe for sure. I know for sure. He bought some stuff for his mama with that money that he actually got off of that song because it went worldwide. That joint was big. but I was attached to that. So just knowing that piece of the story, there's another artist that we got like I it's just going all the way back and remembering, man, you done came from here to there to there to there. I remember getting another artist signed. His name was Scooby. Never really blew up or anything like that, but I remember writing the song that he ended up getting signed to. And I tell y'all this to tell you this. When it comes to this music industry, man, this stuff is cutthroat. It's cutthroat. This is why I never really wanted to deal with artists because I saw how it can go and it goes. So when I realized, like, oh man, wait a minute, these artists are great, but what about people who just need the music for their business? Uh, that's where I found my niche. That's where I found my thing because working with artists, I man, I remember going all the way to LA to try to sit down and talk with Neo's A&R and all types of stuff. But it's just like artists is one thing. Entrepreneurs though. Like this is a completely different realm and world. And this is where I'm like, yo, let me help y'all. So when people ask, like, what do you do, Jared? Ah, I'm a sonic identity consultant. It's like, what? How does that work? Like, let's talk if you want to talk. So it's like when you look back at where your story started and you start finding out there's more to the story, you have to literally remember that all things work together, man. That stuff I remember being 14 years old and finding out that, oh snap, people get paid money for creating music on the phone with a girl. I was a kid and we were just talking, and her godfather was a music producer, big name. And it's like, man, these things led to one thing led to another, and it went on and on and on. And it's just like, here I am now, able to help people not only unmute themselves, but unmute their sound. And take ownership of their voice. If somebody else own your voice and you don't know it, you better fix that. They got names for that. I'm not gonna say the name, but it's terms for that stuff. You don't want to be that. So if you know for a fact, like, oh man, I want to own my voice. I want to own my sound. I want to know my sonic identity. Hold on, I need a signature sound. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. I need to know this stuff. Well, shoot, holla at me. Drop something in the comments. DM me. Let's talk because I know that there's something inside of you that needs to be connected with sound so that you can go out and change the world. Yep. Yeah. One story at a time because it's your story that they need to hear because your voice matters and so does your story. Anyways, with that being said, y'all, we're going to ride out to this right here. And I want to make sure that I see y'all next time. And it's going to be phenomenal. Until next time, y'all stay focused. By the way, this joint was called Dirty 30 because I did it when I turned 30, and it was something that my wife enjoyed listening to as well. Listen, remember, whether you woke up on purpose or not, you still woke up with purpose attached to your life. I would go as far as to say it was assigned to your life. And I would go as far as to say it was also assigned to your voice and your story. So the intention and purpose behind your voice and story needs to be let out. You need to own that thing too, because it's yours. It is your God-given narrative that belongs to you. So you need to take authority over your story because it belongs to you. Question is, are you ready to unmute? Are you ready to take exactly what it is that belongs to you and put it out there and change the world? If you ready, reach out. I got you. Stay focused, man. Much love, y'all. See y'all till next time.